This is the story of Pocahontas. Once upon a time, there was a young, beautiful girl named Pocahontas. It's weird saying once upon a time since there actually was a Pocahontas, but let's move on. As I was saying, she was very beautiful, very smart, but very bored, and her boyfriend was kind of a dick. One time, while walking by the water, she noticed some strangers had landed and were putting up this very, very shitty-looking, pathetic fort. She went down to investigate. "Hi, I'm Pocahontas," she said to the man who looked like a half-drowned pilgrim, but who was also as cute as Ryan Gosling, so he was totally worth investigating. "I am John Smith, the leader of our group, and I claim this uninhabited land in the name of England." "Uninhabited?" asked Pocahontas. "Why, yes." "I'm not sure that's exactly right. I sort of live here. My whole family does, my creepy boyfriend, the rest of my tribe, and like hundreds of other tribes. So uninhabited, probably not the correct term." "Well, when I say uninhabited, I mean by Europeans." He then told Pocahontas that the land was very bountiful, and she replied, "Bountiful? Who the hell talks that way?" John Smith began to show Pocahontas all they had accomplished. They had gathered very hard potatoes, but she informed him that they were actually rocks. He then showed her what he called land shrimp, but Pocahontas corrected John Smith that they were just bugs. "So basically, you've been eating just rocks and bugs?" asked Pocahontas. John Smith just shrugged his shoulders. "Here, John Smith, try this. We call it corn." "This is amazing! It's 100 times better than those hard potatoes!" "You mean rocks." John Smith introduced Pocahontas to the rest of Jamestown, and everyone said she was their favorite person so far, even though the place was uninhabited. Most of the people of Jamestown were off looking for gold, which was their term for masturbating, and they were off looking for gold like 5 or 6 times a day. John Smith looked at Pocahontas and decided he wanted to marry her. She accepted and said, "Don't say any of that uninhabited shit in front of my father, or he will take your scalp and turn your skull into a toilet. Let's say we met through a friend." John Smith said, "Don't ask me why, but I have a feeling Native people and Europeans are going to get along great." On their honeymoon, they went to England. That night sounded like they made love for 12 hours, but it was more like 15 seconds, and Pocahontas spent the next 11 hours trying to coax another erection out of him to no avail. In the morning, he said, "Even though you have no immunity to any of our diseases, like smallpox or the flu, I'm sure everything will be just fine." A few hours later, Pocahontas didn't feel that well, and I guess you know the rest. John Smith mourned Pocahontas for the rest of his life, and in her honor, he accumulated a large collection of mostly worthless rocks, or as he called them, hard potatoes. Come back next time for the story of the princess with vaginitis.
Going to the bathroom in a romper requires more stretching than a yoga class.
Hashtag girl problems. What's a romper?
I don't know what a romper is.
Don't know what a romper is? I'll tell you. It's a skirt that's really short, but it's also a dress. Hashtag one less girl problem.